See if I get some people on here. What's up? So I'm going to probably be live at 9:15, 9:30. So make a post real quick. Holy cow. I got 4 of you guys. Didn't think that many of you guys would pop on. So I'm going to try to, what's up? Can you guys hear me? Any issues? I'm going to be probably live. I'm going to just start this right around 9:30. I was thinking about doing a video, but I'm like, nah, might as well go live since I got time. So I'm just going to pick up tonight and stuff, but I'm like, nah, I'll do a video and then pick up tomorrow. Let me try to get more people real quick. I'm just going to make a few announcements. Thank you. Nick, the Ice Pick Rigatoni. I love that name. Let me just make a quick post. I'm going to just try to get a few people on. So how are you guys doing? Me, probably, well, you can do growth stocks that are dividend stocks, so that is a positive. Just saying. You can do both. Let me mention my buddy Matthew Ramey real quick. Got to promote my buddy Matthew Ramey, Dividend Investor of the Week, by the way. So I got like free time now because I'm not working and during the semester, my semester's over with, so I got some time to like chill and stuff. So totally worth it. Got some sun, chilled out, laying next to two good looking females. How can you say no to that? That was a plus today. Worked out legs. There you go. I'm going to try to get Ramey on here. I'm going to send him a text. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can't answer that question if the stock market is going to crash. I don't know. I mean, literally, I do my job, put money in stocks, and I mean, the market usually fixes itself. I mean, if the pandemic happens, like during the pandemic, I mean, when the dip happened, I mean, I threw a ton of money in and got a pretty good return. I mean, I'm not going to say something's going to happen. I mean, my gosh, with inflation, there could be a possibility. I don't have an answer to that. Could happen. Who knows? Trying to get my Instagram people on here. Well, I mean, hey, I mean, I'm not the person to ask. I mean, I'm not a financial expert. I mean, I really can't answer that. Try to get more people on. See if I can get like more people to hop on. Try to get this 9:30 and get things rolling. Thank you guys, by the way. My gosh, when I went live Friday night, I mean, it was unbelievable. A lot of you guys were on there. It was great. Trying to get a few people on here from Instagram. We got some people messaging me on Instagram, get things rolling. Got 6 people right now. All right. Give me a shout out. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know who's on here real quick. There we go. There we go. We got some more people on here. So about 15 minutes, we'll go live, discuss monthly dividend stocks and REITs mostly. So we'll get that going, get things rolling. Try to get more people from. The hell happened back there? That was loud as hell. Was that lightning? It was like fireworks. Okay. Somebody shooting off fireworks in the back room. What the hell? Hold on. Give me. Good. School's going very well. Let me just see what the hell's going on. Literally, the fire department's like shooting fireworks in the background. Okay. I don't know what they're doing back there. Like, what is going on? I see like a fire truck and they're shooting fireworks. Who knows what they're doing? Weird. I'm going to have to check my email. Yeah, we'll give it about 10 more minutes. Oh, all right, who's on right now? QYLG is a pretty good one. I know some people that actually own that one. All right, you guys got any good stocks out there? I'm just trying to see if anybody's going to respond. Give it about 5 more minutes. We'll start. Ow, I like bit my lip. Ah, hurt. Like right here, I just bit that. All right, now here we go. I'm going to try to get Dapper Dividends on here. We got about a few more minutes. We'll get things rolling. Can you guys hear me, by the way? Want to just give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me, or give me a response so you can hear me, and just make sure everything's good. All right, I got Yoshi. Yoshi's good. Try to get more people. I'm going to Snapchat a few buddies. Matthew Ramey, the guy that I pretty much have as the investor of the week. This guy is the legend of dividend investing. You guys got to give him a shout out and check out his link. I put it in the last video. I'll put a link in his either in my description or his description. He is the dividend investing guru. I have his link right above a few right up here. I'm going to post this again. His book is phenomenal. Very good seller. I invested in a lot of REITs because of Matthew Ramey, and I got to give this guy a ton of credit and stuff for what he's done. His dividend investing strategy is, I would say, flawless. I mean, my M1 Finance dividend portfolio is mostly centered around his dividend schedule and his dividend investing strategy. So let me hop on there, and Matt, you can comment anytime about REITs, because we're discussing REITs, and a lot of REITs I actually invested because of and posted videos because of Matthew Ramey. So this is a guy, you want to check out his website. I'm actually going to post that real quick. Go. I'm going to actually make a tweet real quick. Yeah, no problem. Kudos to you, man. How do I get that? Give it about 5 more minutes. All right, so I made a Facebook, tag on Twitter, and we're going to get started in a few minutes. First question is, what dividend stocks did you guys buy today? I actually bought MPW. I'll tell you what I bought today real quick. My M1 Finance dividend portfolio. So Matt, I'm going to be on here for maybe about an hour. So I got DOC, Physicians Realty Trust, Plymouth Industrial REIT, a little bit of XYLD, MPW, and RYLD. That's what I got today. So Matt, we have a few rates to discuss. And I will bring these up, and you can comment anytime as well. Especially like Weyerhaeuser. That's one that I posted a video on, and I never even heard of that rate if it wasn't for you. WPC Carry's another one, and trying to think what other ones. Iron Mountain. I mean, I never even heard of Iron Mountain if it wasn't for you, and I did my digging, so I got to give you a lot of props there. All right, so I'm going to get started real quick. What is going on, you guys? This is Monday night. This is Dark Dividend. I'm here with Money by Ramey, Matthew Ramey, who is the dividend investing guru. I followed my M1 Finance dividend portfolio mostly centered around his dividend schedule and his dividend investing strategy. I have his link actually right in the corner up there, and that's his blogging site and his website, so make sure that you are a follower on there. And I also have his book that he has. It's a package. It has budgeting as well as dividend investing. So this guy is a very strong guru in the dividend investing community. His goal is really to have $100,000 and earn $100,000 with passive income. And a lot of the real estate investment trusts that I invested in were based on his dividend investing schedule. So the first one I really want to discuss is Iron Mountain with a 5.46% dividend yield. So Iron Mountain is a real estate investment trust. Literally anything with medical documents. There's actually a warehouse in Cleveland, Ohio, and I'm from Northeast Ohio, where any medical document that you have, and now they're starting to like convert to the clouds, it goes right to this facility. So this facility holds on to stuff 7 years, 20 years, 15 years, depending on the contract. And hospitals or whoever it is or physicians' offices have to pay these guys to store these medical documents. So, things happen within the medical community. So if somebody, gets hurt or harmed with a surgery and all of a sudden something happens, they in a lawsuit or something like that happens, they have to bring back these documents and stuff. I mean, I can tell you just by working on a cardiac step down we're doing EKG strips, cardiac rhythm strips 2 times per shift. And where do you think that gets stored at? Iron Mountain. So, and especially my hospital system is getting bought off by a huge hospital system in Cleveland, I'll just give you a hint. They are the sponsor of the Cleveland Browns. I'm not going to say who, but take a guess. You can Google search that. And the majority of the documents in Northeast Ohio go to Iron Mountain. So a lot of people are freaking out about Iron Mountain. Is there stability? Is it going to be strong or anything? And Matt, you can comment, or any of you guys can comment at any time about real estate investment trusts. And Matt, you can comment to any of their questions as well. So these documents, they get stored. And don't forget, the UK and a lot of the other areas are expanding with Iron Mountain. So, none of this is financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. Disclaimer in any of my descriptions for entertainment purposes, but I am long in Iron Mountain. I have a lot of shares in those guys, and they have consistently distributed a very strong dividend, being a real estate investment trust. And they're not. I fully believe that they're not going anywhere. It's just because of the medical field and everything going on within the medical field. These REITs or real estate investment trusts, I know somebody was giving me crap like the way I said it. I think I said it right, but maybe I'm like mumbling or something. But the thing is, with these real estate investment trusts, especially medical ones, these aren't going anywhere. People are getting sicker, and these documents need to go somewhere. It doesn't matter if you sign a consent. Where do you think this consent needs to go? Okay, people sign consents. And where do you think these documents need to be stored at? So that's one of my real estate investment trusts I would love to discuss with you guys, and why I'm long in that one. And I have to give Matthew Ramey credit for that, because it was on his schedule where he has certain dividends that are distributed at certain times. And I saw that one. I did some digging and research, and I was all about that, thanks to Matthew Ramey and his dividend schedule and his dividend investing strategy. Another one is WPC Carry. That's another one that Matthew and I, IRM, strong in document management space, transitioning away from paper shredding to electronic management, big space. Absolutely. And they're looking at, so Matt, tell us about the REIT rating. So people need to understand how you have a REIT rating. I mean, I think it's very strong. I think it's extremely accurate, and I see that as something that people can capitalize on with your REIT rating. The other thing with big space, the cloud and yeah, I mean, everything's going to cloud, everything's going electronic. So these guys, a lot of articles, if you Google search these guys, it's very amazing how these guys adapt to technology and change. And that's what I really like about Iron Mountain. I mean, the price per share is not bad. It's, it's it's not super expensive. It depends what your price range is, but it's not one that has consistently blown up or done well against the S&P, but the price per share is pretty consistent and has done well with increasing its dividend. While Matt is typing, I'm going to explain VC properties. That's one that a lot of you guys mentioned in the group chat before. And VC properties is a real estate, RR is 55 total points, more of a valuation metric, IRM at a 29.5, fairly strong, and that's one that I'd be digging into. So I listen to Matthew's input all the time when it comes to stocks. Him and I text each other, or I'll tell him, hey, what do you think of this one? This is a strong one. And, this guy is extremely knowledgeable when it comes to metrics, when it comes to analytics, and when it comes to dividend stock analysis, fundamental stock analysis, and stock analysis. So he has the trifecta when it comes to investing in stocks. So I heavily focus on dividend stock analysis, a little bit of stock analysis, but he is the trifecta with the technical analysis as well. I mean, Matthew bought Apple before the stock split. He bought a lot of stocks before the stock split. He is very well diversified. So that's one thing about him and his book, as well as his website. He really explains what he's really looking into. So I was going to discuss VC properties. So that's a real estate investment trust that is really focused on the gambling and casinos. It was kind of a spinoff, and it's a 4.34% dividend yield, and it has increased its dividend over time. And the thing is, people are starting to hit the panic button with the Delta variant, and I might actually pick up tomorrow and see what this thing is capable of. I already know it's a beast, but I may work on the COVID unit tomorrow. But thing is, people are worried about lockdowns. There's a lot of there's not a lot of stability. So there's a panic button going on. So be aware that there could be a dip with people hitting the panic button on real estate investment trusts, especially EPR properties, the one that I heavily emphasize and the one that I'm long on. Now, I don't own VICI, but that's one to keep an eye on. And the way that stock has increased its dividends over time with a 4.34% dividend yield, I mean, that's one to keep an eye on, VICI. And Matt, I was going to mention, was it Weyerhaeuser? What do you think of that dividend stock, especially with the timber industry? And, that's a very specialized real estate investment trust that you invested in, and that's one that's on my radar as well. What do you think of that stock? Let me just get the symbol real quick. Now, Weyerhaeuser's dividend they kind of decreased it at the time, but it seems like it's making a very strong comeback. Matt, I was going to see what you think of that one while I keep on going. And you can interrupt me at any time. And any of you guys can interrupt me at any time. I'm totally fine with that. The next one that I really love, and I've emphasized this numerous times on my YouTube channel, is OHI, Omega Health Investors. That's 7.54%. Now, again, healthcare is AMH. I'll mention that one in a second. So Weyerhaeuser is very nice, and they're sustainable resource housing construction exploding, which is good to see. So I agree with that. I did post a video on that, Matt, and I never even heard of that rate if it wasn't for you. And I feel that that one's going to be very strong, and it's always good to be well diversified in real estate investment trusts. So I'm just discussing a few medical properties, and then I'm going to go into other ones. But, you know, like I was saying, with Omega Health Investors, this is a medical properties rate that has increased its dividend over time. It has not really jumped its price per share. It's very affordable, and people pay rent. So it is, I would say it's, don't quote me on this, but it's pandemic and recession proof because people need to see their healthcare providers. Unfortunately, people are getting sicker. People are not taking care of themselves. I really think that healthcare is on the rise because, you know, it's unfortunate because the complacency is the norm. And, you know, these physicians that, you know, have these properties, or these hospitals or acute care facilities that have these properties, they're always going to be in demand. And unfortunately, the rise of diabetes, as I said before on you know, my YouTube videos, and somebody just sent me a text, but the rise of hypertension, the rise of diabetes, the rise of obesity, it's exponentially growing. So the demand for healthcare is even more. And like I said before, with diabetes and Matthew, I was just going to bring up with hypertension. You and I invest in Pfizer stock. I saw in my lecture with NP school, just in 2030, they're saying with the price, the cost for hypertensive medications is going to be $200 to $300 billion. So, and Pfizer carries a lot of medications for blood pressure. It's not just the vaccine. It's very strong, effective medications like calcium channel blockers, ACE inhibitors for people. And, you know, this is just only going to, it's only beginning. It's very weird. A lot of us who take, you know, go to fitness facilities and stuff like that, we're used to seeing fit people. But once you go outside of there, you're surprised at how many people are unhealthy. So Omega Healthcare Investors, OHI, Matt, keep an eye on that one. OHI, I'm very long in that one, very strong in that one. And I'm going to continue to reinvest that in my M1 Finance dividend portfolio. But you and I know what is our favorite monthly dividend stock. We're going to discuss realty income. And that is the monthly dividend stock. You know, sometimes when I would like do videos, I'd talk like super fast. It'd be like heavily caffeinated. And I said reality income. People like, no, it's realty income, which was pretty funny. I was like, oh, sorry about that. But realty income, very strong monthly dividend stock. They have increased their dividend for numerous years. They are very strong. They haven't jumped up too fast, but they have increased their dividend over time. And you know, a lot of us that are dividend investors, I'd be surprised at anyone that is a dividend investor that has not invested in realty income. And it's just very strong, well diversified, over 6,000 properties that it owns. It's well diversified. It has fitness facilities. It has It has some places like shopping centers. Has you know, during the pandemic, I mean, people really bought the dip and capitalized on it. It still was consistent with its dividends. It has a very strong reputation. I'm pretty sure that they're still the dividend aristocrat, and they have the reputation of being a dividend aristocrat. And very strong. Again, with real estate investment trust, 90% of what they make pretty has to go back to us as dividend investors, or else they get big time penalized. So, Matt, I was going to wonder what you think of Realty Income, and I was also going to mention Abbvie Realty Corporation, ADC. I was wondering if you ever looked into that monthly dividend stock, because of the compounded annual growth rate is actually exponentially growing, and it may beat Realty Income as a strong monthly dividend stock. The price per share is actually higher than Realty Income, but very strong. Those two, ADC and O, are probably my two favorite monthly dividend stocks. And Abbvie Realty Corporation made a ballsy move. The board of directors in 2021 literally said, we are going to be a monthly dividend stock. So they were a quarterly dividend stock. They put themselves on the map. And once they became a monthly dividend stock, people really paid attention to these guys as a real estate investment trust. And the nice thing, Abbvie Realty Corporation is not even close to size-wise. And yeah, I agree. Recession-proof, pandemic-proof. Look at how big it is, and it's in numerous countries. It's in Puerto Rico. It's in the UK, and a very strong monthly dividend stock. And again, it's going to increase its dividends over time. And it's almost like you're getting a raise because these guys increase their dividends, and you just leave it alone, park it, and reinvest, and go from there. That's what I'm doing. I have 102, 101 shares of Realty Income. Yeah, look, there's going to be dips, and the nice thing about Realty Income is it's not jumping up like crazy. It's pretty stagnant, and I know it's I think it hit $70 or so, but I don't see it jumping to 80. Now, it did have a history of a small stock split, which is very interesting, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. I think the one stock that I could see doing a stock split, and I think it's way overvalued, is Innovative Industrial Properties, IIPR, which is a real estate investment trust on the Mary Jane. I don't know if I can say that or else I'll get penalized, but IIPR is basically farms and the Mary Jane. And gosh, I bought the dip in that. I couldn't keep up with it, and I had to sell it on my M1 Finance dividend portfolio. But my gosh, I got Iron Mountain out of it and LTC Properties. The next one I really want to discuss is EPR Properties. That's, Matt, have you seen EPR? This is a monthly dividend stock that is obviously entertainment, and they took a huge blow during the pandemic. They just resumed their dividend. It's at 25 cents, per share. They were at 35 cents. Originally, they're at $70. They had a very strong dividend yield. And they were focused on leisure and gaming, like, the golf, Top Golf, a little bit of AMC, which I don't touch AMC with a 10-foot pole. Yeah, AMH, I'm going to have to look into those guys real quick. I should probably respond to that. That's very interesting. Well, the one thing is I see their dividend yield at 90.96. Now, I did get I got a huge blow on Rich Uncles. Put 6,000 in, I'll probably only get 2,000 back or so. They're going to convert to MODIF, which is one that's similar to the NNN rate. Might as well just throw it in there and see what happens and reinvest. But very interesting. So Matt, I was going to tell you, I know you and I are baseball fans. I got this as a gift from a Holy Cross brother from my high school right after the Cubs beat the Indians in the World Series. Ouch. That hurts. That hurts. Oh, that still stings. So another one that I have is National NHI. That's a very big one. National Healthcare Investors. That is a very strong real estate investment trust with a 5.50 dividend yield. That is a healthcare REIT that many people have. And yeah, I know. Yeah, your Twins won in 91. Rub it in. I do love Kirby Puckett. And the thing is NHI is a very strong one. I bought the dip on that one. That is a very strong real estate investment trust. I am absolutely loving that one. Matt, why don't you tell us about Welltower? Now, you got Welltower, right? Is that the one that's your healthcare rate? I looked into that one. I almost considered that one once the dip happened. You guys have no idea. I study his dividend schedule like you wouldn't believe it. So once I add dividend stocks, I'm like, okay, like maybe he has that one. So it distributes this month, and this month. I'm good. So like I said, with my dividend investing strategy, I want monthly dividend. My monthly dividends need to buy the quarterly dividends. And these quarterly dividends, I'm kind of treating as a monthly dividend. What is the one that you own that's what was the one that you own? I swear it's is it Welltower or is it it's one of your healthcare REITs. It's not LTC. It's gosh, I may have to pull up your schedule real quick that you have. Oh, what is it? It's killing me. Do you still have let me look at it. I have it somewhere. I have a schedule on my phone, like literally when I look at strategies. Where is it? Where is it? Ah, here it is. Iron Mountain, West Rock, Weyhauser, Newell Brands. I got it like literally, Matt, look at this. I got it right here. Which one is it? What's going on, Jason? WP Carry. So Matt, tell us about WP Carry and why you have that in your dividend portfolio. That's another one I got. I got the dip big time on that. That is one of my favorite real estate investment trusts. I have to give you kudos to that one because I added that on my E-Trade dividend portfolio, and I got the dip like majorly, and really it's I couldn't say no to it. I had what was it? What was the? I'm trying to think. I thought you had it. Maybe I'm. Don't quote me on that because I was wrong. But I definitely got B&G Foods from you. I definitely got B&G Foods. I got to give you credit for that. And I think B&G Foods is a very strong dividend stock. It's a high yield dividend stock. And every time I go into the store, I mean, how many times have people taken Ortega on Taco Tuesday and stuff? I really think that that's a strong dividend stock, high in demand. I have to give you kudos to that one. BGS, that was a very strong one that you got. But have you looked at STAG? So this is a monthly dividend stock, STAG Industrial Complex. And I like this real estate investment trust. It's a monthly dividend stock. you can tell I got like note cards in the background, literally like looking into stocks. I mean, I'll wake up in the morning, like slam coffee, and gosh, like which ones are hot out there that I look into. Yeah, that I agree. Have you looked at this one? This is a real estate investment trust, Americold Realty Trust. That one is specialized. Speaking of food space, so if you look at, I don't think the dividend yield is too strong. I like 3 to 5% range, but anytime like frozen food gets stored before they go to the grocery stores, they get stored at a warehouse, and that's what Americold's for. So like eggs, frozen chicken, and stuff, and that stuff will get stored there and then get sent to the grocery store. So I think that's a very strong real estate investment trust. I know it's not on the it's not on the I think it's 2% dividend yield or so. I really like that one. I did have it and I sold it. It just wasn't attractive wise. I ended up selling it, and I got like a dip on it, and I bought more into Stag, but I've been keeping an eye on that. So that's one that I looked at for a while. Now you guys have mentioned this ETF SRET, which is Global X. I saw that one before. I actually used to own that, and I just don't like its portfolio, to be honest with you, because if you look at SRET, it is not a very strong, its portfolio and its ETF is not very strong. And I had it, and it was kind of stagnant because Matthew and I like dividends that increase over time. Like I was telling you guys, when I post videos, I explain to you, does the stock increase its dividend over time? That's one thing that I like with my dividend checkoff is when it increases its dividend over time. And SREIT, its portfolio that's like a high yield portfolio with like dividend stocks, but these dividend stocks have not increased their price per share over time within the portfolio. So that's one thing to keep a close eye on is, okay, if you like things that just stay like in a straight line like this, okay, but I like things that kind of go like this. And Matthew and I like things that go like this. And that's what he really emphasizes in a lot on his website, which is right above there as well. So his website's very strong. I randomly found Matthew and I actually found out who he was. I sent him an email, said, hey, can you call me? I really want to promote you on my dividend investing channel, because I got to give you a ton of credit. I mean, you deserve a ton of kudos for what you've done in your dividend investing strategy. I implemented that in my M1 Finance dividend portfolio. So that's what I do on this channel is I like to promote people, dividend investors of the week, investors of the week. His book is always, I'm going to keep it permanently in my comment section. You'll see an Amazon link. Just click that. Check out his book if you're interested. I mean, it's a package deal. It's 2 for 1 right now. So it's very strong out there. So thank you, Mr. Frisco. I do have, I actually got one in the mail today. It'll be my last watch for a long time. My employer just got bought off, so I got to be a little bit fashionable with the blue watches and stuff. And a lot of real estate investment trusts, you got to understand. And Matt, I want to see if you agree with me on this. When you have a real estate investment trust, you got to understand the portfolio. Okay, what is it about? For example, Iron Mountain, you got to know what's in it. I like emphasizing to people, telling them, go to the website, see what they're about. You need to understand if they're in demand. So if they're in demand, IIPR, I know it's way overvalued, but people like the Mary Jane, and medical marijuana is high in demand. There's actually medications like Marinol that are from like a brain freeze, that are from marijuana. And, EPR Properties is one. It makes sense why it took a huge blow because of the pandemic, because it's entertainment. So, the bug was very bad. I'm going to tell you, to be honest, it's very bad. And it's Stellar. Where did you sell your S rate? What did you buy after selling it? I was going to ask you. I mean, none of this is financial advice, obviously. But we do have a future CPA in here, Money by Ramey, of course. Gosh, Matt, why don't you just call yourself a guru, a dividend investing guru? It's okay. I mean, I just said you are. I mean, I just keeping it real. But yeah, S rate. Oh. Exactly. That is 100%. That's 100% true. And the biggest thing to look at is REITs have a set amount of their dividends that they need to pay out to maintain REIT status. Absolutely. So I'm just repeating what you said, and that is 100% accurate. Their earnings, their revenue, their income, they have to give it back to investors. And you have to see the price per share. Is it stable? And then, like I said, with my videos, go to macro trends, see if their revenue is increasing or if it's decreasing or it's stagnant. Matt, does this stock, AGNC, not sting every time you see it or people mention it on Twitter? I mean, that M rate just kills me. I mean, I don't understand AIRC. Which one is that? Apartment Income Rate Corp. Okay, well, I mean, apartments, I agree with the pandemic. I mean, gosh, I mean, that the dip came with the financial sector and the real estate sector. And I totally agree because, Matt, I was in a private rate with rich uncles. It was a bricks rate. It was student housing. And had this pandemic not happened, I'd be probably making an extra $300 a month just reinvested. And since it didn't happen, I probably lose 4,000 of my 6,000 invested. So I agree with you. I mean, it's a very small portfolio that I had with the bricks rate. I mean, you guys can check it out with my channel. I was like posting, oh my gosh, I'm going to reinvest. And love this bricks rate. And all of a sudden the pandemic happened and I was like, ooh, I got to pull out, but it was too late. I mean, they were just blown. I know they say hold, but they did a fire sale, and I'm not too worried because I was very well diversified in my portfolio, and it was like big deal because I have Fundrise and this and that. But yeah, I strongly agree with that. And what do you think of? Matt, what do you think of the rate being acquired by O? Do you think O will be a lot stronger with the acquisition of Verite? That was big news that came out. Yeah, the AIRC Stellar. That's a pretty good move, honestly. I mean, it seems like it's going to grow. I mean, people are not buying houses. I cannot believe like people getting ripped off and getting outbid, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 by their house. And it just doesn't make any sense that people that people would just allow, you know, something to be, or just take an outbid and go from there. Trying to think. Another one is Whitestone rate. That one isn't going to jump up too much. I'm thinking about buying. Um, yeah, I agree about sometimes organic growth is not enough. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, its portfolio is so strong, and you know, they are the monthly dividend stock for a reason. And they, I worked out legs today, and I'm like, it's starting to kick in right now. I'm just gonna say that. And it's amazing how strong that portfolio. And they just went public in 1994, and they're just only growing, and they're getting bigger, and they're getting stronger. And you know, I just love to see these guys grow. And the acquisitions, I mean, it's crazy how much money they have, and how strong they are, like with a portfolio. It's incredible. I mean, you go on their website and you see how much they own, like in, or their landlord in certain state. I mean, Ohio, Minnesota. I mean, all these states. I mean, it's incredible. Puerto Rico, UK. I mean, they're only going to get bigger, and they're only going to get stronger. And I really see that being, you know, very exciting for their portfolio. Same with Stag. I mean, Stag is blowing up like crazy. Um, you know, again, this is not financial advice, but I do see a potential stock split with Stag because it's jumping up so fast, and the acquisitions in its portfolio, there could be a stock split history with Stag. And you know, it's a very good monthly dividend stock. And another one that I mentioned before is LTC Properties, and that's just a real estate investment trust and on medical properties, just like MPW. And I have emphasized MPW numerous times. And those guys, you know, healthcare, long-term care facilities, assisted living facilities, they're only going to get bigger and stronger. You know, look, the portfolios by MPW and like how big those guys are. It's actually amazing how big they are. And unfortunately, they do own a lot of mental health facility, or not own, but they're a landlord to a lot of mental health facilities. And mental health is terrible. I mean, it's only going to get worse. I mean, it's mental. Oh, those patients I take care of, it's so draining. But really, I mean, that's a field that's only going to get bigger and stronger. I mean, I'm in nurse practitioner school, but and I wouldn't want to do an NP in that. But they offer way, like maybe $20,000-$30,000 more than what I would start off at. And you know, that's what makes Medical Properties Trust very strong as a dividend stock. A lot of people are worried about them, but you know, people are paying the bills, people are paying rent, so you know, I see them being very strong. I'm trying to think what else. Whitestone rate, that's another one that WSR. Now that one took a huge dip. It's a monthly dividend stock. It hasn't really increased its dividend over time, but that's one that you could maybe capitalize on with a dip. And I'm considering buying it and then selling it, or just holding on to it and just reinvesting the dividends. At its peak, it was just 9 cents that it had, and it never increased its dividend, but it still was a pretty stagnant one. It's almost like a bond stock, but I still like the distribution that it had in the past. So just very interesting stock. Matt, you got any good ones out there? Any real estate investment trust? Let's see, what do you got? Tell us about WPC Carry. I mean, that's a big one. Why do you like it, and what is very popular? Look, I'm on his website. He has things like this with a dividend schedule, so you need to capitalize on this. And you'd be crazy not to capitalize on this guy, his website, and his book, because this guy has been there, done that. He's probably going to make, and the goal is probably 6 figures, but everything. Oh, that's my photos, but just me. But here's a schedule. Yes, I did. Pinning for poetry. I was thinking about posting a video on it tonight, but I just said, like, kind of screw it. I'm going to go live. I think you guys would enjoy me going live a lot more often because I'm taking a break. Like, I have like a 2-week break from graduate school. VC properties, absolutely a 4.34% dividend yield. It's mostly gambling and casino properties. That one's very good. It could be a little stagnant because people are a little freaking out, and yes, I agree, Matthew, on that. But VC properties, very, very, very interesting with a 4.34% dividend yield. It's a solid one. It really is. It's like Spirit Realty Capital, SRC, that I own. That one, I have my M1 Finance dividend portfolio sitting right around $50. I think VC is right around 40 last I checked. And yeah, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that one. I mean, I like 5%, 4% on there. That's a very good one. So that's very interesting. So I'm not gonna conclude yet, but I'm also going to discuss some dividend stocks that Matthew owns and that I own. One of the big ones is Tyson Chicken, and geez, how many times did I tag you on Twitter about that with Tyson Chicken? This is a dividend growth stock that I love, or Tyson Brands, and I absolutely love this dividend stock. I haven't bought it. I think probably in a year or two I will, but with its dividend increasing over time and it being in demand and people trying to eat healthier, that is a really good dividend stock that has a very good dividend growth history. I think that's going to be a good one out there in the future. And I'm keeping an eye on Kraft Heinz. That's another one, and that's a good one that that Matthew owns, and I'm considering adding that on there. Seagate, it got so big because of the crypto blow up that, and I have to give you kudos, for, Matthew, on that. That is a very strong yield. It's a dividend growth stock, and wow, has it done phenomenal over time. Just increasing in price per share and increasing its dividend over time. And it's a software. It's a a disk company, and that one's very strong. That I would like to mention. And kudos to you for finding that one. That's a very strong one. And I also B&G Foods. Matt, what do you think about GE? People always mention about GE stock. Um, that's really interesting. Do you think that their dividend will ever get back to where it was? It's very interesting with GE. What else we got? Another one that Matt owns is Conagra Brands, and I own this one. I'm long on it. And, a lot of frozen veggies. These guys have increased their dividend over time. I think that was a great move, Matthew, on your schedule. And I have that on small portion. Okay. But what about Conagra Brands? That's one that you and I own. And, I looked into it. I'm like, okay, is this stock in demand? And I saw it. I was like, holy cow, you ain't kidding. It's in demand. And gosh, I absolutely love it. Yeah, a lot of GE products they actually have in the hospital. The EKG machine is GE. A lot of their products, healthcare products. I mean, I would maybe consider them would you consider them a conglomerate? I mean, they own a lot of stuff, and yeah, they're making a comeback. It's very interesting with them as a dividend stock, and they just yeah, they really got their they got their really can't swear on here. I don't want to get flagged, but they got their stuff straight, and Ford's one that needs it to get things going. Really interesting. So Smucker's, very good one. Actually, Smucker's, if that's SJM, I think that's the one that you have on there. And there's Tyson, Conagra Brands. Smucker's is actually in Orrville, Ohio. It's very close, and right in the refrigerator. Guess what? Guess what I have in there? Jam from like jelly from Smucker's. That's another one. Yeah, it's you always want to see businesses do well. Um, you get a company like Sears who you would maybe consider a conglomerate, and they went down the tubes. But I think GE is a company that has adapted very strong to everything that's going on with the everyday society and changes. And I see those guys. I see them making a strong push. I hope their dividend increases because a lot of you guys, a lot of people that invested in GE, they really got the shaft with that dividend, and that stung for a lot of people. But I got to give people kudos for holding on to that. That's very interesting. Now, do you own any Vanguard stocks, Ramey? Any Vanguard stocks? VYM. I saw you had Vanguard on there. That's the one. That's going to be very interesting. VYM. I saw you have in your portfolio. You have some VYM. I'm just wondering, or not VYM. Vanguard. I'm just wondering which one do you own? Bond. So, how many shares do you own in that? And what's your plan? Just monthly dividends, passive income, or is this in a Roth or traditional IRA? Nice. Yeah, what's his name? Budget Dog on Twitter really emphasizes that mutual fund too. I think that's a strong one. That's pretty impressive. I own like 0 bonds in my 401k and my dividend portfolio. But yeah, it's good to have bonds. I mean, eventually, I don't know if I'll do it, but once I get older, I'll probably throw in some bonds. I mean, my 403B is straight stocks. I mean, sectors, healthcare. I mean, none of us can give financial advice penning for poetry. What do you think? Like, is this a stock for Roth or traditional IRA, or what are you looking at? So, Matt, I was going to mention you. Did you know that O has a stock split history? I saw that on stocksplit.com, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty interesting. I know that you have Apple, and they split their stock, so a lot of investors really like that. Feel free to comment, any of you guys. I mean, well, BDC. Now, main and gain, I'm long on and own. I just did HRZN is a BDC. I'm going to keep an eye on it. But it did increase its price per share. The dividend has not increased over time. But main and gain, I really love those ones. Those are my 2 favorite BDCs. They have increased their dividends. Yeah, I think, gosh, Apple and Microsoft, it's almost like they're always going to split their stock because it gets so expensive for people. Nobody's going to want to buy it. And that's is going to be the issue, is it's so expensive that nobody's going to pay, $300, $400 a share. And then when it splits, they get the young investors to start buying them. So I think that's their goal and their key. And Apple, I mean, gosh, what do I have right here? And Microsoft. I mean, I have Microsoft PowerPoint that I do, and I think that's really important with the having diversification and owning certain stocks, because they don't have a strong dividend yield, but over time, if you have more shares, it is a good dividend growth stock. I mean, who's going to say no to that? And being well diversified, and with your dividend schedule, let's see, what do we got? Let me look at your dividend history schedule. You got Clorox, I see that. I did sell WestRock, by the way, and I bought something else for it. So another one is Newell Brands. I mean, I know I have posted that in my channel a little bit. I really like that one. It's very stagnant. It hasn't really increased its dividend, like really fast, but it hasn't increased its price per share. And Newell Brands is pretty well diversified. That stuff that people buy in the store, which I find very interesting. If you were at that age, what would you think would be a good stock at 18? I mean, how can you say no to Apple and Microsoft? I mean, honestly, I mean, dividend growth. So, did you see Carl Icahn? I always say his name wrong, but have you seen what is that portfolio that he has? Like, it's kind of like hold on. IEP. I mean, everybody asked me about that. IEP. Do you like that one? Do you think it's a waste of time? Gosh, I can't even tell you how many people have asked me, what I think of that stock. I mean, it's very interesting. I mean, it's a high yield stock. I mean, it's a lot. It's, geez Louise. That's one that a lot of people ask me, like, if I would buy it. I don't know. I'm so iffy on that. So he actually bought us. I think he was going after First Energy, and I had to deal with First Energy. If you can, I don't know if you can hear my air conditioning going off, but First Energy is utility stock that is almost like an empire in like Ohio, Pennsylvania, and the other states, and very interesting at how powerful that those guys have become. And they had some issues with corruption, and they really took a tumble, but their dividend is pretty decent. So it's very interesting. That one, IEP, it's whew, I don't know about that one. It's very interesting of how that stock has it's slow. All right, yeah, I'm going to be getting off next few minutes, but very interesting with IEP. People have asked me about that. I'm so iffy on that, and like of what my honest opinion is. I don't buy it. I'm not going to consider it, but it's pretty good. It's pretty decent yield, but I would consider it somewhat of a yield trap. Do you guys have any comments or anything for Matt or anyone? I see 16 of you guys on here. That's a pretty good amount of people. Try to go live real quick. Matthew, thank you for coming on here. I'm definitely going to promote you, this week. Definitely my dividend investor of the week. Let me try to go live. We are live right now. Matthew Ramey, thank you so much. Get a photo real quick. All right. Any comments? I see 14 of you guys on here. There's got to be a comment or anything. All right, I'm going to give it one more minute and call it a night. I mean, you guys have been awesome on this channel. Man, we have a decent amount of people that are pretty active on here. A lot of questions. Great group of people on here. But I'm going to conclude this. Thank you guys so much for hopping on here. Almost one hour and 30 minutes. Phenomenal group of you guys. Again, I'm going to post a video tomorrow. I'm going to try to pick up maybe 3 to 11 Eastern time. So I'm going to try to post a video by then. I'll have it timed and scheduled for probably around 7 o'clock. So, that's one thing that I really want to do is pick up, make a little bit of extra. That way I can throw in my dividend portfolio and maybe have it in my either M1 Finance or maybe throw it in some crypto. But thank you guys so much again. This is a good Monday night chat, and you guys take care and have a good one.